All right. Give me something, a mess up. Something you guys learned this week. Something that you're like, ah, crap, I did that. I wish I wouldn't have. I have one for you if you don't have any, and it's not even me. It's my wife. She did one. So she just got her license a little while ago. And she has basically heard all of my stories for 12 years. So she is a very experienced real estate agent that has never done real estate. And she had an agent reach out to her and say, hey, I'm out of town. Will you go show this house to me for like this unrepresented buyer? And what was her answer? What would you guys say?
Yeah.
Yes. And then what did she do?
No.
She met them at the house. And you know what the client's first thing was that they said? Thanks so much for meeting us. Our agent couldn't come. Nope. Zero pre-qualification because an agent said I had an unrepresented buyer that wants to see that house at 7. I was also out of town during this time, and so she had to figure out how to have 5 children taken care of. Well, she went and showed a house to someone that had an agent that their agent just couldn't show up. And guess what? They didn't even like the house. And so she learned to pre-qualify people, even if someone's like, hey, I have an unrepresented buyer for you. That doesn't mean necessarily that they are an unrepresented buyer. It means they have a potential unrepresented buyer for you. So who else had something they learned? Something maybe you said that you're like, I shouldn't have said that. Messed that one up. You guys aren't doing enough if you're not messing up enough. I worry about you guys doing everything perfectly or not doing anything. That's how it sounds. Yes. Yes. All right. How about a win? Something good that happened this week. 3 open houses. I saw the one you're doing on Sunday. You're doing 2 on Saturday too?
It's gonna be difficult. I don't have my super yet,
Oh,
and I'm doing one in March.
where's yours?
He's doing one to Andy,
Okay.
but he's gonna have to own there. It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, you could probably open it early and get the key out for you and then.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, it's vacant.
Yeah. Do that.
Should I do that?
Yeah, do it online. It's even free. Don't pay for it.
I thought you, Carson, said you have to do it in person. No,
Nah.
I did the code or something. So I can have my super by tomorrow.
Probably.
That was.
Yeah, you should try to do that. I think you can do it all online.
Because once you do that, you're super lives, you can access it, but
I don't know.
I was installing it.
Who knows? All right, any other good wins for the week? We got a bunch of open house opportunities. I'm excited to see the marketing for that. What else you guys got going? Any other good?
Just for you.
3 open houses. Okay.
Here.
Ooh.
Still a long road. We gotta figure out some stuff. He's got his name tied up with his mom's mortgage and he goes sign for it.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's just like a extra hoop to jump through. What's the secret to making this click for me? Oh, it's working. Welcome to the team. We have a honorary guest. Is that what we're calling you? Why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Randy Jones, I've actually been with Keller Williams for 17 years. I've been around a while, but I've been kind of semi-retired for the past several years, so things have changed.
Yeah, did you like leave real estate completely or were you
No,
just
I thought
your
I
license
did
was
my-
here?
Yeah, I've done a sale here and there, transaction. But I've just been kind of writing the semi-retired life and playing and, but, anyway, getting back into it because I enjoy it and so. I've got another business that I've had for 43 years. I started, was going to be my, start a window cleaning business. And, was going to be what I knew, and it just, I'm just managed that now. And so it's been a good source of leads for real estate over the years. My very first listing was $1 million listing 17 years ago, which was a big house back then. Yeah. Up on the hills of Linden. So that was a scary transaction to have to do. The
Very first one.
um,
And were you at Westfield
yes.
there? Okay.
Yeah, the office was in Hyden originally, then we moved to this building up here behind us, and then moved here.
Yeah.
So I helped in all the moves, and I've seen
Seen it all.
top names here start as little children, and grow up to be big boy real estate agents.
Yeah.
And so I had my peak where I did pretty well, just kind of and just kind of latched for a while, but I've always been involved with it.
Well,
So
if I
I'm here
become,
to learn again, refresh, and learn new, the systems have changed.
yes,
I mean, last till I did this in January, and I really struggled having to all this command and everything. Dean and what my part. Anyway, so I need to learn all that stuff again, but it's good business and it's been a lot of fun. And so,
I'm glad you're here, hanging with us. You can answer questions what it's really like, so I can stop lying to everyone. Yeah, my button stopped working. Oh, there it goes. Rise. We have Rise coming up. We're either gonna have surprise instructors tomorrow and Monday, or me. Cause we had some changes and switches, but tomorrow it's work your database. So like setting up your database, what that should look like. As you're getting set up, and then we're gonna do negotiations on Monday. So should be good. And then Wednesday, what are we doing Wednesday? I already forgot. I don't know. It might have changed since then. Here, I think I have the list right here. Let's look. I don't know, how do I go to Chrome? Rise. We have, wait for it. Oh, what? Maybe we don't have something Monday. I think we had to move the Monday's class.
No, is that just because
There's nothing on Monday.
as a class,
Maybe. I don't know what's going on. It all makes sense until it doesn't make sense in my mind, you know? You know, when you're like, oh, I definitely need to do this. And then you did it and you're like, wait, why did I do that? So there was a reason. Oops. Right. So, if you're looking for something to do Monday, it is the perfect time for us to be filling the room for the first time home buyer seminar, which we're going to talk about more here in a minute. All right, on the 21st. This is our team meeting, right? I think so. 10x your net worth. Strategic growth through mindset, investing, and leverage. This is going to be by Johnny Christensen. If you have not come to anything wealth building from him, you are missing out. He was one of those little baby agents Randy told you about that started probably like 2008. And he has built a crazy big net worth, and he is a nerd about building net worth. So always awesome. So don't miss Tuesday. That will be an awesome class. And then get ready, because I don't think I have an announcement for this, but coming up soon is the potluck. So the Tuesday of Halloween that week is like a potluck / dress up day. Chili cook off. Yep. You gonna bring something good? Okay. I will eat some of your chili. Yeah. So if you don't have a good costume, get something right now. Prep your chili. Get ready. Yeah, you probably don't need to start prepping your chili yet. That's probably a little early, but you do you. I'm not gonna judge. Also, we're doing some night classes. So it's CE and dinner. So we're gonna be talking about carbon monoxide on October 21st at 6 p.m. Put on by Pillar to Post, Jared Fenn, so the inspector that's in our building. So if you're ever like, what even is carbon monoxide? Or why do you need to learn about it? You get CE and dinner. So come to that, spread the words to your friends as people are looking for more to do. Nope.
What's it been?
My money's on pizza. Yeah, you can always ask. Call to play, win the day. We are going to do this in place of our meeting next week. So do not come to this room because I will not be here. I mean, you can come hang out in this room, but you should probably go see Cody Gibson. He is the president of MAPS Coaching, so he runs the coaching division for Keller Williams. And he is one of the most entertaining people that speak at Keller Williams. Like every time that he's speaking, I go to his classes because he is awesome. He has good insight. He simplifies everything, and you're just going to leave like, I can do all of this. And then you know what? You can do all of it because he's going to make it so simple. You're going to be like, there's no way this works. And then it works. It's crazy. So, what? Good. Good. You guys gonna come too? Okay, good. Yeah. $25 get you lunch. It's up in Sandy at the Salt Lake Community Place. So go to school. This is also like a regional event, so there's gonna be all the other Keller Williams from the region that come to this. A lot of people.
But it's just KW.
Just KW. Yeah, you can invite your friends if they want to come. But
So it's capped at.
yeah, that's how big the seating is. So it starts at 9. I plan on getting there a little bit early so you can choose where you want to sit. You know, you guys seem like back row kind of people back there. If you want to be on the front row, you can do that. Whatever, so should be good. October 24th at 9:30. This is a Friday, I believe. We're doing a fall hike at the office. So it's at Lost Creek Falls in Provo Canyon, which sounds cool. I've never done that one. So those are some pretty pictures. So if you want in on that, there'll probably going to be more info on Tuesday. Kind of pay attention to that. But worst case scenario, you can Google where does this start and just be there at 9:30 and you'll probably be fine. So should be fun. Hopefully the weather's not like it is today. Oh, there is a slide. Chili cook-off, costume parties and games. So it starts at 11. Usually the team meeting is like, welcome, you guys are all awesome. Go eat some chili. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll do more announcements than that of things that are coming. So you guys all have your costumes? Do you know what you're gonna be? Ooh. Oh, okay. Aren't those the same? Cam Cusick.
Oh.
Oh, yes, Fizbo.
We're gonna be Facebook. We had a better idea
That will be a good
I
one.
was gonna go as Serena Williams.
Oh.
He was gonna go as Helen Keller. Keller Williams.
That's a thinker one. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so like I said, we're doing call to play win the day. Then on Thursday, we have the market update with Johnny Christensen. So we're actually gonna be in the large training room for that. I think it starts at 10. Don't quote me on that. You'll see a whole bunch of emails going out about that. But it's gonna be the complete market update, everything that's going on. Should be very interesting because we live in times where people actually will ask you, how's the market? And they don't mean that nice. Because like the government shutdown, what is that doing for the market? What about all of these tariffs and the tariff bluffs that we have? And what are interest rates doing with all of those and how is it impacting prices and things like that? So you definitely will want to come on the 30th. If you can't come to the office, you can register. It's just going to be on Zoom, but we're going to put it on the big screen there. And then on November 6th, we're gonna do what I call the real estate flywheel. Right? Create momentum that keeps on spinning. I think that is one of the difference between new agents and agents that crush it. And even like those agents that are just like onesie twosie kind of agents, and then the agents that are closing 10, 12, 20 transactions. It's when you get momentum and you can utilize that momentum to get more momentum, like life is easy. But if you have to start pushing the merry-go-round every single time, it's that much work. But if you can just keep it spinning and tap it, so easy. So we're gonna dive into that. All right. I have a challenge here for you, script challenge. Imagine you're talking to an acquaintance. This is not a good friend. This is maybe a friend of a friend or someone that you know, but you're not really friends with. They know you're in real estate and they just randomly say, hey, I want to go see this house. What do you say and or do next? So partner up, everybody. And imagine that one of you is this person, the other is the agent. And say, I want to go look at this house. Remember, you're acquaintances, you're not good friends. Okay? This is all of the information you have. Those are hints that I'm giving you where you should take it. So, partner up, we'll talk about it in a sec.
Good.
So I would just.
No, you gotta practice. One of you is buyer, one of you is the agent.
I hate role play.
That's why I make you do it.
This is not the kind of role playing we normally do.
I don't want to know that.
Prior to maybe having.
We have room.
Nice. Let's first see. Let's see.
A confidence message.
Qualified.
What's your name? I do.
Sure.
Nice to meet you.
All right, let's come together. When those two start goofing off back there, I know it. Okay, so what are some of the things that you said? When I went from there, what went well? How do you respond to this?
Are you currently owning or renting?
Yeah, we don't even know, like, do they need to sell a house? Okay, what else?
So we get to the motivation.
Motivation? Why? Love it. What else?
We talked to Linda.
Lender? Are you working with an agent? So I wanted to bring this up because this is pre-qualifying someone. You know what happens when you don't have a client and you hear that you think you might have a client? You forget everything that you know about real estate. everything that you think that you should be doing and that we'll practice about. And we're like, you should set a buyer consultation, you should have them talk to a lender. All of a sudden someone's like, hey, I'll go see this house with you, and you're like, let's go. Like, I was supposed to hang out with my kids tonight, but screw that, I'm gonna go see a house with you because you're a client, you're a potential paycheck. And then you know what's gonna happen? They're not gonna be, for some reason, that you could have figured out on the phone. Could this be a transaction? Yes. But I think you need to know all of these things beforehand, right? So what do you want to know before you show a house? For sure, for sure.
If they're pre-qualified,
What does that mean?
they've talked to lenders and they're able to get a substantial loan.
Okay, so do they qualify for this house?
Or like the level of seriousness.
Tell me more.
We're really looking to buy.
Yeah.
Because otherwise.
Yeah, one thing that I overheard them talking about was timeline. You know, people sometimes get excited, they're like, I want to buy a house, like, let's go see some houses. You're like, oh, sweet, when do you want to buy it? And they're like, April. And it's like, yeah, they're like, we just need to kind of see what's out there. It's like, well, whatever you see that's out there right now, it's a completely different story in April. So you might get lucky, but yeah. So we need to know, okay, one, can they buy this house? Right? Do they qualify for the loan and do they qualify for enough of this? Yeah. Do they have cash? Like, we need to know that story. We need to know the when, because if they say now, then we need to run 100 miles an hour. If they say in 6 months, we can debate in our mind, like, do we go show this house because this is just an acquaintance and that's our excuse to become better friends? Because I have definitely done that before, where I'm like, yeah, let's go see a house. And they're like, well, we're out 6 months. And it's like, I'm okay with that. Because then I get to be like, tell me about this house. Tell me all the things about you. Look, I'm a good real estate agent. Let's go to the next house. And it is like a calculated, I'm spending an hour or two like wasting my time, which is really me building the relationship. I'm okay with that. Other times I'm busy and I'm like, screw that. I'm not going to show you a single house until you're ready. I'm going to build the relationship over the phone or invite you to cool things that we're doing, stuff like that.
And then you also just find out if they already have agents,
Yes.
they have some VBA for Massachusetts.
Yep. Yeah, so I have right now buyer broker agreements with people that, like, one of them, he's like, we signed a buyer broker in April. He said, like this year, yeah, so 2025, April 2025. He is coming into town on Tuesday and we're gonna go look at houses. I showed his family houses 3 or 4 months ago. And so, but I've had the buyer broker the whole time, so I know he's not gonna cheat on me. So, like, that was like calculated, I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything on Saturday, I can go out and lock this client down, show him I'm a good agent, this is great. Other times I would be like, you know what, you're not ready, you're not even moving out here until like the fall, why am I gonna go show you houses in the middle of summer? So,
So for that one, because you talked to him in April, did you decide, like, had decided?
yep, so December 31st.
You said about now is the time that if you're doing BBA to push it out. to
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Some people are like against that. And they're like, you only work with me for 1 month or 3 months or 6 months or whatever. I'm like, we're just gonna call it December 31st. If you don't like me, fire me. I'm okay with that. If I don't like you, I'm gonna fire you. And if you don't buy a house by December 31st and you still want to work with me, then we'll just sign a new one till December 31st the next year. So.
What's your script to get them into the office to do that fire broker?
Usually my script is something around like, sounds like you have a lot of houses that you want to see, or you're really excited, or we need to move faster, whatever matches their scenario. I just kind of like said, sounds like, and then describe them to them. I say, so our best next steps is just, we should meet in the office and go over a game plan. That way we can, and again, like kind of say how they are. So we can find you the best deal. We can make sure we have a game plan. I can answer all of your questions or whatever. And then that leads me into just setting the appointment. And then, my buyer appointments are a lot of like asking questions, getting to know them, writing down everything that they want.
After they get people.
Yes, most times. I like to have them pre-qualified before the buyer appointment,
Because you know they.
unless like, yeah. But even then, it's kind of questionable because like, I just did this. This is one of my like, I learned from this kind of a thing. I got a referral of a chiropractor. And he's like, I have 2 practices. I have a huge down payment. I have a house that we don't need to sell and we can buy a new house. But I'm open to selling it if we need to. And we talked to a lender a little while ago and he said we'd be good for like 900,000. So I said, cool. And we met and we saw houses and everything. And then we finally found the house that he wanted. And he's like, I decided I don't like that lender. And I was like, sounds like you've never talked to this lender. Anyway, he talked to my lender. He was approved to 850, but he had to put down more money than he wanted to be able to be pre-approved, or he needed to file his taxes because his second practice was new. And so it showed a big loss and he needed the next year's taxes to show the income. So if I would have just been like, why don't you talk to my lender, or who is your lender, so I can talk to them to make sure all of this is real, then I would have not shown houses to them when they didn't actually
I
qualify.
like that. And then they get pre-qualified. Just the June, something,
Yeah, they usually send you like a
pre-qualified.
pre-approval or pre-qualification. They're different,
But then
but
your client has to sign off, but they can share it.
I don't actually like to share it. I don't know how you've done it in the past, Randy, but like if I get a pre-qualification letter that says this client's approved to 650 and we're seeing houses at 600, or even worse, we're seeing houses at 650 and we're gonna make an offer at like 625. I don't want to show them that we're approved for more. So I just typically won't send that to the other agent.
No, like for your client, do they send you that letter?
Yeah, they can, or the lender. I like to talk to the lender, because sometimes there's like little conditions. Like they're approved for 650 if they pay off this credit card. Or after the first of the year, or with another pay stub, or there's weird conditions sometimes, so just talking to the lender, and then if they're gonna use that lender, you're gonna talk to them all through the under contract process. So if someone's like, oh, I have a lender and I'm going to use them and they're way better than anyone you have. It's like, cool, I'm okay with that. Who are they? Let's chat. Otherwise, it's, you should also talk to my lender. Let's see if we can get you a better rate. Okay. Are you guys ready? Pathway to home ownership. All right, how have your invites been going? You realize that we are about a week out. What is it? 6 days? Yeah.
People have no idea how many people have actually.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have to. What's that site called? Envelope. Oh, just thinking about it. We have 6 people and I am one of them. Oh, Chris, you're one of them too. So we have 4 confirmed people. So here's the thing, if no one shows up to this event, I'm okay with it. But if 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 show up to it, it's gonna feel like we don't really know what we're doing. So we're gonna go crazy. I'm gonna run you through real quick what this is gonna be like. Who would like to be like involved teaching wise? It's just us 2. Okay. Okay. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna give you the 5-minute version of the first time home buyer workshop. I'm gonna change that title to be Pathway to Homeownership. So I'm gonna ask why everyone came. We also have a question, and when they sign up, what do they want to know? Same kind of idea. This is so we can tailor it around what they want to do. Because if everyone's like, I want to learn about grants, and that's all they talk about, we can probably move fast through everything and spend more time on grants. If people are like, I'm real worried about the economy, then we'll talk a little more about the market and tailor it to that. What you can do, pros of owning, buy versus wait, process using an agent, and loan overview and buying costs. So why would you own a house? Stop moving, tax benefits, mortgage is better than a rent because you're just throwing away rent money because you pay rent, you're paying someone else's mortgage. Stability, community, customability, you can paint it, builds equity and wealth. So each time you make a mortgage payment, it's going to build your ownership, right? You're paying down some of your principal. So it's like a forced savings account. Over years, you can draw from that. You get appreciation. Real estate increase. Utah's average is 6% a year over the last like 25 years or something. So if you have a $500,000 house, that should be $530,000 the next year on average. Who knows what the future holds for us? But so that's $30,000 a year. That's like having another job for most people, right? Tax benefits, mortgage interest, and property taxes are tax deductible, plus some closing costs, so that's always good. And then stable payments. Your payment stays the same. Landlords can decide to raise rent and everything. The only thing that changes are your insurance and taxes. And hopefully those don't go up crazy.
Yeah. ARN.
Yes. Yes, unless you get a different. Yeah, you probably won't. Yeah, rent on average increases 3% every year. So if you're like, my rent's only 2,000, well, now it's 2,060 the next year. And it just keeps going up and up and up. If interest rates happen to go lower, you refinance and all of a sudden you get a lower payment, or you take out a bunch of cash and have the same payment, which a lot of people have done. So it's very good. And this is really the biggest chart. Homeowners' net worth is almost 40 times greater than a renter's, right? The average renter has $10,000 net worth. This is a couple years old, so I imagine it's probably gone down with how much everything costs lately. But a homeowner has probably even gone up because home prices have gone up. So almost $400,000 compared to 10 grand. So crazy. If you want to have a big net worth, don't rent, own. Buy now or wait. It's always a question. So this is a chart of the market. And it's a percentage of appreciation in homes. So if it's along the line, that means homes did not go up in value at all. Below the line means they actually went down in value. You'll notice that we've had a few times in 1959, it went lower. We get real close to the line. We stay around the line for a while. We get real close to the line. March of 1991. And then in this housing bubble of 2008, we went backwards. We went down a little bit, but then we jumped back up real quick. So there are 4 times over the past 100 years, well, this is probably 75 years, that home prices have gone down. This is a couple years old, so even if we're about the same, which is where we are now, maybe some areas, but like on average, we've stayed about the same. So if you're like, I'm going to wait for home prices to come down, really what you're hoping for is like 1991 or 2009, 2008, 2009 time. You're probably not going to find a great time when home prices go down a whole bunch. Crazy, right?
I bought a rental property in 2007. In a couple months, it seemed it lost $100,000.
Oh my goodness.
But over the years, 15 years later, I sold it for a great profit. So it's just a matter of.
Yeah, I remember when I got started, someone mentioned, it was a lender came up in team meeting and he's like, congratulations, we're back. Like, what does that even mean? He's like, if you bought at the peak of the market rode it all the way down and waited for home values to come up, you are now even. And it was a 5-year span.
A lot of people jump ship, just short sell their property up there, but if they would have just held on.
Yep.
they-
So we went from, if you bought at the very peak and did not sell, your home value was back to the same within 5 years.
See, I
In the
sold,
worst time.
I sold it in 2020. So you can see it was back up
Yep.
to where.
Yep, so. It's a good time to buy a house is always because we live above the line. Very above the line most times, and it was like. The 60s and 70s were right around there, but then we tend to be way higher, so home prices. Tend to increase. Right? Are more people moving into Utah or moving out of Utah? Are we having more kids or having less kids? Do you think Utah is gonna have a housing shortage or do we have ample space to build things? Like, home prices are probably gonna go up. Unless you go, yeah, unless we run out of water or.
That's gonna be a good.
So, probably a great time to buy, because we don't know the future, but I doubt home prices go down. It's hard to time the market. Where's my clicker stop? Okay. Different chart, same kind of idea, but this is just Utah, so you can see in the last 20 years, we went backwards for a few years, backwards for 1 year. But so over the last 25 years, we've been averaging that 6%. Even on the downturns, it still gets us at that 6%. So here's kind of how it looks. So imagine you bought like a townhome or condo for $350,000. This is a real thing that could happen. So after year one, with this appreciation at 6.5%, you're 372. Then you're just short of 400. Then you're 422, 450, 479 after 5 years. So you make $129,000 in 5 years. If we keep along with the average. Crazy, right? If I said, hey, if you just lived here for 5 years, I'll give you $130,000. Would you live there? 5 years? Yes, 100% yes. For some reason, people are like, I think it's better to rent than to buy.
So,
I-
30-year mortgage. 77,000.
Thing. If it continues. That's crazy. If we go conservative and say, okay, well, 6% was crazy, we're only gonna grow 3%. Which, by the way, the average for the US is 4% over the last 100 years. So we'll just go even lower than that if we're like, well, who knows with interest rates? You still walk away with $55,000. So if I said, I'll give you 55 grand if you live in this house for the next 5 years, would you be okay with that? Because then when you go to buy your next house, you have a $55,000 down payment ready to go. Not to mention paying down your interest and all of that, and the tax savings and things that you get. What is wrong with this clicker? How it works is all boats raise with the tide, right? When home prices go up, they're all gonna go up. The bigger your house, the more it goes up, kind of an idea, but don't overextend yourself. So here's kind of our little roadmap of going from not owning a house to owning one. First, you get pre-approved, meet with your agent, you're gonna go look at homes, make offers, get them accepted, earnest money, home inspection, home appraisal, financing, settlement, and home ownership. Will go a little bit deeper and not so quick on this, because a lot of people don't know the pathway. Come on. And we're just changing things at the bottom, explaining all of these. Okay. So now it's why work with an agent. So we have this little Gosh, I hate this clicker. Okay, so we have this little thing. I want you guys to find numbers in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to do it, okay? Ready, set, go.
Got it.
Okay, how high did you get? 4, 6. Okay. Now imagine that you had a guide that was your real estate agent for number counting. And I told you the secret is to put them in a little box with 9 numbers. And we are gonna go from here and go over and down and around like this. If I gave you 10 seconds, how easy is it for you to find the numbers? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't see 7, 8, 9. Start again 10, 11. Like you can just easily call them out because we gave you help. We didn't count the numbers for you. That's the real estate agent's job, right? Is we are going to help you and guide you through this whole thing. You're still going to be making all of your decisions. We're not going to push or make you buy or do something that you're not going to do, but we're going to guide you and put boxes and frameworks around everything that you're doing so that it's easy for you to make good decisions. You have someone to talk to that's not going to be like ChatGPT when you're like, hey, chat, is this a good idea? And it says, absolutely, after everything that you say to it. Like, we are going to give you real, true feedback and help you grow. And so it will be easy for you to find the right houses and be in the right house and blah, blah, blah. So then, loan overview. So we're gonna have Jake talk about a whole bunch of different options. Comparing options, broker versus retail bank, pre-qualified versus pre-approval, employment income credit, common loan programs, minimum down payments, and then some grants. He'll probably ask people what they care about the most. My votes are employment income and credit, and then these last 3, loan programs, down payments, and grants. Yeah, yep, yep. Should a buyer be encouraged to shop rates or companies? Yes, 100%. This is boring. Pre-qualification versus pre-approval, which should you do? Yeah, we want to do more because then when we're like, hey, the lender has verified them, everything is good, like our approval letter is basically like, we're gonna get a loan. So it's way better. Agents are excited about it. I think that's a lie, but I always talk to lenders to see if they're excited. How to qualify, common programs. And then I like this, he says the total debt to income ratio of up to 50%. So what that means is you take your income before taxes, then you're gonna minus all of your debt payments that you have. So credit cards, student loans, car payments, if you have a house, if you have alimony, if you have all of those things, whatever your debt payments are, including the new house, can only be 50% of your income before taxes. So if you make 10 grand a month, you can spend up to $5,000 on debt. If you have 2 car payments of $500 each, now you're at 4,000 that you can spend. So that's all of your debts that you have, then that can be your house payment. Right? Every loan program's a little bit different, but that's an easy rule of thumb. Some let you go a little bit higher, some have to go a little bit lower. And so that's how we can figure out what kind of payment can you qualify for, and then back into how much house that means based off of mortgage rates. What do you mean? They just assume that that's your other 50% of your money. Yeah. So if you have zero debts, like if you're like, I don't use credit cards, I don't have a student payment, student loans, I don't have a car payment, anything like that. Then you can get a house payment of 50% of your income. So you make 10 grand a month, you can get $5,000 for your payment. Yeah. So when you're looking to get a house, sometimes it's better have a lower down payment, but pay off some of your debts rather than have a bigger down payment and have some debts. Very important when people are like, I'm gonna sell a house, but like if we sell my house and move into a new one, like I'm not gonna be able to get as cool of a house as I want because my interest rate's gonna be so high. It's like, well, what if you took some of your equity and paid off some of your debts and then bought that house? So your payments overall are about the same, but you can qualify for a better house. Down payment assistance and grants. A couple of those. And then how can we improve? So if you don't quite qualify, what are some of the steps that you can take? And where to go from here? This is where I always like to tell a story of my brother-in-law. He called me one day. This was 5 years ago. And he called me and he said, hey, I really want to buy a house. And I said, let's do it. And he said, okay, but here's the thing. I have a plan to get a house in the next 3 years. And I said, I love the planning. Tell me why 3 years. And he said, I think that we'll just be more ready in 3 years. We'll be able to save up a bigger down payment. We'll be able to pay off more of our debts. And I should make more money. I like just got a promotion. I'll probably get another one or get a new job within 3 years. And we'll be able to qualify for more of a house that we want. I said, okay, how about this? Let's talk to a lender and see what you will qualify for today. If that's great, then we can find you a house today. If not, he will know more of a plan to put in place so we can be more where you want to be in 1, 2, or 3 years. And he said, great. Talk to a lender. He was able to buy a house. He was like, oh, I didn't realize that we could qualify for that. Like, so funny. So he bought a house in 2020. What happened to home prices in 2021 and 2022? Like crazy amounts, right? In 2020, no one would have guessed that home prices would go up 25-ish% in 1 year. So that's like, hey, I'm gonna go buy a $400,000 house. And someone's like, oh, it was $400,000 a year ago. Today it's $500,000. Like that's the kind of jump that it made. And there was no way to know that with how we were going. Like COVID's happening, like all of these crazy things, and it just went insane. So he was able to buy before he thought he could buy because he was being very logical. And he was able to ride this wave up. He probably has, I don't know, $150,000 of equity in his house right now, rather than chasing prices going up. Now, I don't know what the market's going to do, but I know what it is today. And if you can qualify for a house today, there's usually not a scenario where it's bad to buy a house now and live in it for a handful of years. So go meet with your agent, get pre-approved and buy a house. Questions? Anything you think that people will want to know that we didn't cover? It's called supply and demand.
So high.
Yep.
I mean, we saw that. We were renting a place for $675 a month.
Uh-huh.
Just a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Open layout, but.
Yeah.
It went from $675 to $950. Then it went to $1,200, then it went to $1,400. Then by the time we were with Ohio, it was $1,800.
Yeah.
So $675 to $1,800. And I mean, it was over the course of 5 years, but.
Yeah. Do you know what my house payment did it during that time? Nothing. Didn't change. I even refinanced, took out $100,000 and didn't change my payment because interest rates went down.
And you think that with everything went on COVID,
They've gone different, they would have tap.
That's what everyone thought. That's why I took out $100,000.
In case.
And then you know what I did? I went and invested that $100,000 instead. And now I have $100,000. Well, it's probably worth more than that of land in Salem that we're developing. My wife was mad that I did not give her a new kitchen.
Developed.
For a house.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a whole partnership of, there's like 20 of us that put money in. I put the least amount in.
What's going on right now, though, like. Be able to be able to everything going on with the government, like. It is kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And government agencies shutting down. People get fired.
They say,
Supposedly a judge in California blocked that, like they're not able to just fire people.
but then they said. 22,000 job. And then like people, like I said, the holiday season. People are spending 10% less.
This is supposed to be the first time in history that, holiday sales are gonna be lower.
And they said that 22 states say that they're
Yeah, I stopped believing predictions on recessions. Because when was it? 2020, it was the early 2020s, like, I don't even remember if it was before or after interest rate changes. But there was a bank that said there was 100% certainty that we were gonna have a recession. Like a big name bank, like Goldman Sachs or something, like said, yeah, 100% certainty that we're gonna have a recession. And then they have yet to say that we have been in a recession. They've since changed that and they went down to like 20-ish% from that. Oh, 100% we're doing it, to like, it's like 20. So it's always hard to think what's going to happen. The Fed has announced that they're probably going to make more interest rate cuts because they're more worried about labor than inflation, which I think is the right decision. If we're going to worry about anything, I'd rather worry about people having jobs rather than inflation, because we lived through 7-9% inflation months.
I wonder what they live in Utah, but
Yeah,
I mean, if we were back to Ohio, I'd be, there's no way I could.
What do you think they want to spend interest rates? Because provided there's less job.
I think Jerome Powell is slow at what he does. Because when inflation was going crazy, he was like, it's just transitory. Like, it's not real. It's not real. It's just right now, it's gonna get way better. And he didn't believe any of the data that was coming to him. And then finally he's like, oh shoot, this is real. We're at crazy levels of inflation. Let's make dramatic changes. And he's done good things to make changes. And then now everyone's like, hey, we're probably ready for these lower interest rates now. Like, can you just make some changes? And he's holding tight and not making big changes. Where I think the market is ready for changes. And so I think he's been waiting too long. Yeah, that's my opinion. And I'm always right. Okay, so we need to pack the room. So what's your game plans to get more people registered? Randy, if you want to participate, you can send people too.
Now, like, the first time home buyer.
Yeah, so this we're gonna obviously cover a lot of things that people that have bought homes before would probably understand. But we're also covering things that a lot of them don't, like how many people know that like 4 times in the last 75 years that home prices have gone down. Like, I wouldn't have guessed that until I saw that chart. And I'm like, oh dang, home prices just don't go down. They're sticky, as economists put it. So like, there will be good and interesting things to talk about. And that anyone that's looking to buy a home will enjoy. But it's more geared towards like, I'm renting and I should probably buy.
What do you think stops you?
Down payment and qualification. Because if I told you you could buy a house instead of rent a house, why would you rent it? If I said, hey, you can buy this house, it's gonna be $100 cheaper than renting it. Except for if anything breaks, you have to fix it. Which would you rather have? Most people would want to be able to like, oh, I can paint it and I can do anything I want with it, and then I can sell it and make a profit at the end. Like that makes more sense than next year when you're like, hey, rent's gone up 3% or more. No one's ever like, hey, your rent went down. But if interest rates go down, you refinance and all of a sudden your payment is lower. Yeah, buy a house now, and then if rates go down, you just refinance and you're good to go. Okay. All out blitz. We need to have social media posts inviting people. You should be texting, you should be calling, you should send an email out. You don't even need to get fancy about this. You can go to command and do the check all, and then there's a little drop down and you can click send email. And then you can just say something as easy like first time homebuyer seminar, pathway to home ownership, amazing class, or I have something for you. And then just in the body of the email, write, I am doing a homebuyer seminar. If you don't own a home, you should be coming to this. If you do own a home, let me know who you know that should be coming to this. Here's the information. Feel free to forward it to your friends and send that out. You never know. Do the same things with text. Hey, do you own a home? You should come to this. Oh, you do? Who do you know that should be owning a home? Send them to this. Here's me on social media, buy a house, whatever you need to do. We are probably capped at 100 people, by the way.
We have 6.
Say that in your marketing.
Yeah.
Space.
Limited seating.
See,
You don't have to say it's 94 more people. Yeah. And then if we want to tweak and change anything about this, even by next week, I'm open to suggestions, thoughts, like we can make it more like buyer consultation type idea without the questions. We can give them more stats, we can give them more stories.
Well, where do you want me to,
I was gonna ask you, where do you want to fit in?
or, I'm very flexible. I can do anything.
Yeah, we're gonna run through everything real quick because where most people have questions and hang-ups of not buying a house is I don't qualify or I don't have money. Like it's all about money. Most people will be like, yeah, I want to own a house. I just, especially if they come, they want to own a house. They typically just don't have money or they don't think they can qualify. So we're gonna spend more time on the loan side of things than anything. So that's our game plan. Go invite. By the way, the idea of inviting people is not so they come. I want them to come so they can get some value and things like that. The idea of inviting people is so you have more conversations. So if you send a text message to someone or make a phone call to them and say, hey, I'm doing this first time home buyer seminar, and they're like, that sounds dumb. You can be like, all right, well, you don't have to come. What's new in your life? Why don't you like me? Why don't you want to come to my seminar? Like, whatever you want to do, it's all about the conversations. The more conversations you have, the better. If you send this to people and they don't respond, do you know what they get out of it? They know you're in real estate. So then when they have a question, they might come to you. When they have a need, they might come to you. When they have a referral, they might come to you. When they are ready to buy or sell, they might come to you. And you might just get lucky and invite someone and they're like, oh, no, thanks, but I need to buy an investment property, or I wanna sell my house, or I'm moving out of state. Who do you know in Colorado that could help me buy a house? Like. You just never know where it's gonna take you, so. Go crazy with the invites. Uh-huh. If you're gonna sell a house in a different state, the easiest way is go on command. There's a little like referral section. Kind of looks like the dot in a map, but it's got a person in it. You click on that and you can even pull up a map, zoom into the area. And find agents that have sold homes in that area or that work in that area. And then you just can interview them, or you can just say, this person sold 20 houses in this tiny little town. They're the one that I want. And then you can send it even through command. Usually I call them and say, I'm sending you a referral through command, accept it, please, 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 please.
Well, they signed,
And then,
like the guy about, he lives in California. He
Uh-huh.
never came to. 70.
oh, the title company can send someone to them. Yeah, it's called a mobile notary. So they just send someone else out. It's a closing cost.
What's the referral percentage?
You get to set it in command. I usually just do 25% because no one's gonna have problems with that. Yeah. So, okay. Take this time right now and go invite people. Like 10 conversations before lunch, kind of an idea. And then hopefully we have a whole bunch of people. Do you guys need the link again, or do you have it like 10 times in your email?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll text it to you, Randy.